Well, it's time for an update. Today is Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. And I've got lots of good news and lots of bad news. So at work, my Freightliner again started showing dual check engine lights. And there was some kind of an error. And so I told the boss, and also I discovered, because now it's getting dark, and in the morning when I start, I have to get my lights on. And I noticed that the clearance lights on the bed, like there's 3 clearance lights on each side of the bed on the Freightliner, only 2 were working on one side. So out of 6, 4 were bad. And I told him, that's a violation, potentially, right? And I think the windshield needs to be replaced, but it's up to them. It's expensive because, yeah, Calgary is famous. There's lots of rocks, small gravel pieces on the highways, and that's why you don't want to be following anybody closely here, especially pickup trucks and big semi trucks or dump trucks, especially because they go off-road, right? They go on the dirt, and they can collect some rocks in there between tires. And then if you follow too closely, boom, And so because the Freightliner is in the shop, so we have 3 pickup trucks, and this other driver, he's another Freightliner, but sometimes that's not enough. And the last 2 days, like Monday, Tuesday, they told me to hook up a trailer. We have like a small trailer for a pickup truck, and it has 2 axles but single tire on each side, and it has ramps, but very nice trailer. It has 3 D-rings on each side of the deck, and it's not long. It's probably, I don't know, 20 feet long, but in the front where the neck is, it has a compartment for chains and binders. Pretty cool. And the only problem is that the ramps, the ramps stand like this in the very back, and they're super heavy, and they're fully manual. So you have to lower them, and then you have to muscle them back on. So I've been doing some, real exercise because, let's say I need to deliver. They say, okay, load the scissor lift, and so you have to look at the track, like the distance between the wheels of your scissor lift, and then adjust the ramps because they slide. But it's a bit sketchy, So yeah, I'm just walking. No, actually, a couple of times it was a small skid steer, so I was inside the skid steer, just drove it on, picked up an excavator, also loaded like this on the trailer. Did a bunch of scaffolding today. Did some yesterday. So yeah, basically waiting for my Freightliner to be back. Then usually I do less scaffolding. And in other news, so I've been still thinking about getting a business vehicle for rentals on Uber. And a big Ford dealer recently moved into my area. Like here we have, not too far from me, we have Chrysler, Dodge, we have Mercedes, we have Nissan, we have Toyota, we have Hyundai, and now we have Ford. So the only one that's missing is Chevy. And so Ford used to be in central Calgary. It was called Marlboro Ford, and so now they moved here and they changed the name to Country Hills Ford. And it's a bit confusing, like why would a dealer change the name? But I guess they want people to know where they're located, right? But I was searching on Auto Trader. Of course, it's Auto Trader Canada. I was searching for something like under $50,000, under 50,000 kilometers on the odometer, 7 seats, 4x4 or all-wheel drive, something like that. And I see that these guys, the Marlboro Ford in central Calgary, has a couple of interesting vehicles. And so I sent them an inquiry, like using the online form, and there was no answer, so I decided to call them. Again, just went on the website, where that listing was. I think it was like a Ford Explorer, but I like those, like the cops love them, right? So they're spacious, not as good as, of course, as a Suburban, but I think they're pretty good, you know. And it's been a while since I had a Ford. The last vehicle was a Ford Mustang V6 that you guys always made fun of, even though that was a 300 horsepower vehicle, which brand new cost 25,000 Canadian, versus 5-liter GT was 50,000 Canadian, so twice. And that's why I got the V6, and it was pretty good, especially after all the upgrades I did. It was an awesome little, it was like a fighter jet, you know. So yeah, looking forward to getting back into a Ford. And so I decided to call him, and it says, call this number. Yeah, I call the number, and the greeting says, welcome to Country Hills Ford. Like, wait, the listing was with Marlboro Ford. The greeting says Country Hills Ford. And finally I got to a reception lady, and I said, I thought I was calling Marlboro Ford. And she says, oh, it's the same thing. We just moved and we changed our name. Can you believe this? So they had to change all the signs, right? All the business cards, all the letterheads, all the, you know, everything. So I don't know, like, what's wrong with Marlboro Ford? Even though you're on Country Hills Boulevard. But anyway, these guys moved here and they're super happy. I talked to the sales guy. He says, oh man, we just moved here. In 2 weeks we sold 150 vehicles. He says this location is definitely way better than the one we were at before, near the Marlboro Mall. And so I said, what do you got? Where's that vehicle? He goes, oh man, that one is sold. Actually, yeah, it was not an Explorer, it was Cadillac, you know. It was a Cadillac SUV, but not too crazy expensive, with lots of seats, you know. It looked pretty good. It was like wide. And he says, well, that one just got sold this afternoon. I said, man, what else do you got? He says, well, I have a Ford Expedition. I said, no, forget it, that's too expensive. What else? Well, I got a Ford Explorer that just came in, 2022. You want to see it? I said, yeah, sure. So he brings it out. It's a 22, so a couple of years old, only has 25,000 kilometers on it, and it's limited. It's Ford Explorer Limited, so it's like top of the line trim, you know, all leather, bunch of sensors. Of course, not too much space behind the rear seats, but it does have, so 2 seats in the front, driver and passenger, right? Then the second row is a bench, 3 seats, and then in the very back it has 2 seats, which of course, you know, if you have too much luggage, they're useless. You have to fold them down, but everything is electric. There's like a panel on the side inside the luggage compartment, the trunk. Just push that button and one of the seats goes down. That was pretty cool. He says, oh, don't mind the dirt, we're gonna clean it up, you know. He says it was a lady, and the only thing I did not like, there was like a scuff mark on the front fender. They promised me they will, if I buy this vehicle, they will polish it and clean it up. And also the windshield had a big crack. They said, yeah, don't worry about it, that's safety features, safety requirements, so we're gonna replace the windshield at our own cost. And so we signed a deal. I gave them a small deposit, and they sent me to the financial manager, and I'm like tired. I worked all day, right, like moving this freaking scaffolding. I said, okay, you have all the information, can I please go home? Because you're not gonna give me the answer tonight, right? Or just a couple more minutes, I might have some questions for you. And then I signed the form allowing him to pull my credit, and he says, and he prints it out, and he goes like with it, like putting check marks. Okay, check marks. Okay, what is this? Collections. Oh, you have collections. So what are you talking about? And he shows me, and it says July 23, a collections account was open, and it says I owe somebody $1,600, of course Canadian. And there's a company name, and then in brackets it says motive, you know, like motive for murder. And I'm like, I don't remember any motive. So I googled motive, and I found Motive Financial, which of course is like a bank, so they have their own credit cards, and I'm thinking, man, so somebody might have, applied for a Visa card on my behalf or something. But it's since like last year, right? And I didn't receive any mail, I didn't receive any phone calls, I had no idea like that I owed somebody money. And then I started thinking about it. Somehow that name, Motive, sounded vaguely familiar, And then I'm talking to a friend of mine, the freight broker, and he says, Motive, isn't that the company you used to have a ELD with? Because back then it was obligatory, right? If you have a semi-truck, you must have an ELD, electronic logging device. And I said, wait, it was Keep Trucking, and then then they changed their name to Motive. Holy macro. So I found this collection agency and I sent them I don't want to give them my phone number, right? Because then they start harassing you. So I just filled out the online form, and I only gave them my real name and my email address. And I said, here's the deal. You have a erroneous entry on my credit report saying that I owe you, you're trying to collect $1,600. This is the first time I hear about this. Like for a year, it's been sitting there, and I had no idea. Even though I applied for a second mortgage, right? And I bought a car in July last year. Nobody ever mentioned any collections. And then I found that Motive financial website, and I used the same trick. I found, contact us, and I used the online form, and I put my name and my email address. And then I couldn't sleep. I get up at 4 o'clock, what's going on? I owe somebody money, I had no idea. Or somebody stole something, on my behalf. So I try searching online, and then my friend says that, later today, he says, wait, that's the name of your ELD company. So I found their, when I had a break, I found their website, because they have Canadian branch, and I find their phone number, so I call them. And I say basically, what the heck? Is it you guys, or is it the other, financial company? And she says, well, it shows, like the lady on the rep says, well, it shows that your account was closed in September 22. I said, yeah, that's when I'm pretty sure I returned the ELD device to you guys. And I called you because I remember, when I sold the truck, there was so many things to cancel, right? Like you have to close all these accounts associated with the truck, with the trucking. Like, for example, your healthcare provider, that mandatory random medicals, right? That are required of all truck drivers. So, and they charge you so much per month. So I remember I was calling I had like a huge to-do list, who to call, what to cancel, right? So ELD was there, I'm positive, right? So I called them, and then this lady says, wait a second, let me transfer you to a guy in accounting. And she transfers me, and the guy says, well, actually, yeah, it's us, because when you closed your account, it shows as closed, but you were not supposed to close. Like, wait, what? Well, it was kind of like a non-cancelable contract. You still owed us money. You had to pay us. Like, wait, I'm pretty sure it was like $450 a year, US. $450 US a year for that ELD service. How come I owe now $1,600? And I said, I closed everything. I sold the truck. I returned to you the ELD. Like, why are you charging me? And the guy kept saying, like some Indian guy with Indian accent, he says, well, it's because your contract was not, cancelable. You owed us money for the remainder of the contract, which is total BS. And I gave him my phone number. I said, okay, you probably don't have my phone number, because I said I moved, right? I said this was in Ontario. Now I'm in Alberta. My address changed. My phone number changed. My email address changed because I canceled my heavy haul email I used for business, because it cost me money. And so I gave him the phone number. He says, okay, somebody will call you. All right. And then I was doing some deliveries, and then I just looked at my phone, and there's an email from the collections company. And what they say is, okay, what is this? they say is, hold on. They say, hello Sergey, thank you for your email. This was regarding a collection account originally listed with our office by Motive. However, they had since recalled this file, so it should not be reflecting on your credit. We are taking the necessary steps to notify the bureaus, the credit bureaus, to have this mistake corrected, deleted as soon as possible. I include a release letter for your records in the meantime as proof that this is in progress. Should you wish to expedite this deletion, you can contact the bureaus and demand an investigation into your credit, and they will address this issue with greater priority. Best regards, name, accounts manager, collection agency name. And actually, that's what I did. I called one of the bureaus, and they allow you to do this by phone, right? So it just takes like 10 minutes to verify your identity. They ask you all kinds of questions. Okay, which branch of the bank is your line of credit with, which address, and they give you multiple choices. So it's a really, rigorous, only you can answer. And luckily I didn't make any mistakes, so I gave them the correct answers, and they said, okay, your identity is verified, so what can we help you with? I said, well, this is this file. I don't know who it is, it's not me. And the lady said, okay, we're gonna start an investigation. We'll send you an update by email within 30 days. And so this is what this guy's saying. He says, if you want to expedite it, contact the agency, and I already did. And then he attached this letter, and it's called Listed in Error. Dear Sergei Drachev, this is to confirm that the subject file has been closed and returned to the above noted client. This shall also verify that this matter was reported to the credit bureaus in error by our company. Therefore, any entry on any credit file pertaining to the above client is an error and shall be removed forthwith. Holy mackerel, like who writes like that? And so yeah, it's an official letter with the company letterhead, And so what I did just now, I tried to do it from my phone, but for some reason it didn't work. So I just forwarded a copy of this to the sales guy and the financial guy, and he says, okay, thanks for the update. So I said, see below. So there's no collections, right? So my credit should not be too bad. So he said, okay, thanks for the update, but he promised to call me back or email me with an update, like are we approved or not. But I'm guessing, maybe when you have too many open lines of credit and credit cards, that banks don't like it. But that would be a nice vehicle. I would use it for rental, and because it has more than 6 seats, I can use it for Uber XL and potentially make some money. Okay, now in other news, I've been busy shopping, and if you recall, and some people criticize me for this, I don't know why the people are so, choosy and so eager to criticize, but I was using this nice knife to open cans. If you remember, I was opening cans of peas, cans of whatever, right? And of course, the originally when I bought it, the knife was so sharp that I accidentally poked my finger, and it was bleeding for like 2 days. No, I'm kidding, but it was super sharp. And now it became so, not sharp that when I'm trying to cut a tomato, it had difficulty, cutting the skin of the potato. So I went on Amazon and I started looking. All I wanted was like, wet stone, and I searched, I sorted all the results by, customer reviews, like what's the best. And the best one was not a wet stone, but it was this bad boy over here. It was like 25 bucks Canadian. And all you do is just like this, and they're saying that this does not delete the metal, unlike the whetstone actually erases the metal, and that's why your knife will eventually become thinner, like smaller and smaller. But this thing, they say, just rearranges the moleculars or whatever, the steel but surprisingly it works. So now I can cut potatoes, you know, whatever. And like I said, I was busy shopping, and because now, you know, like old drivers, we had those headsets, you know, with the mic in here, but I got rid of it because they look ridiculous unless you're a truck driver. And so I talked to my friend, the freight broker, and he said, try this. Now look how easily it cuts. I don't even apply any pressure. I'm telling you, this thing. So got it on Amazon, and his recommendation was this, shocks. So it's a mic that goes behind your ear. So I really don't like things in my ear. So this goes behind your ear, and I chose this fancy, you know, fancy color. Yeah, it looks like this. But maybe like just. I'm not ready to set it up yet. Actually, it's been sitting on my desk for like 2 days now. But let's see how it looks. This is supposed to be a very good hands-free system, so which will allow me to, you know, answer my phone safely. Wow, come on. So I got it on Amazon, and they had a few colors there to choose from, like black, blue. So I chose this one. I think the price was 250 bucks Canadian or something. Now if I can open it, that would be nice. Wow, super tight. Comes with, oh wow, your warranty card. Huh. Comes with its own little bag. Check this out. This is pretty cool. And this is it. See? So this goes behind your ear like this. So you don't have to put it in your ears. But I have to figure out how to charge it. Where's the cable? Oh, it's over here. Okay, so there's a little booklet. There's the cable to charge it, another cable. Yeah, some booklets, and yeah, the warranty card. So I'll leave it for now, but so yeah, I'm gonna set it up. So of course this is a Bluetooth, so no wires. Should be pretty good. So that's one purchase. And then another one is, recently I've been doing a lot of photography, and one problem I keep running into is dark environment. Even though I have a very expensive lens now that's supposed to be able to shoot in the dark, but finally I decided to take my photography to the next level and learn how to use a flash. Because you see, that's how you use it. You don't aim it at the people, you aim it at the ceiling, probably even behind you, you know, like over there, and it comes from, it hits the ceiling, and then it reflects, and so it creates the nice, you know, like even light, so much better than without it. Oh wow. So check this out, it looks pretty good. So people were saying online again that on Amazon that this is one of the best flashes, you know, Goldox V1 Pro. So what we have here, some boxes, some cables. What is this, a drone? Speaking about drones, some guy contacted me today and said, do you have a drone? Do you do drones by video? I said, no, I used to have one, but nobody was watching videos that I was making, and so I sold it. And so yeah, it attaches to a camera, and then you can choose the settings, like how bright you want this to be. So, and you can just, and it's like this is very modern, right? Like previous flashes, they were like rectangular. So these ones, yeah, of course you can point it towards the poor customer, but that would blind them, and so you just do it like this to the ceiling behind you, so that it's not too much. But this is really good. Oh, that's what it is. So this other thing is the battery that goes in. So of course you have to charge it, but this is one of the best flashes, and I look forward to using it. Could have used it with that clinic shot I had, and then the wedding, because it was very dark in the basement there where they were dancing and doing karaoke. So basically, I'm making an investment into my photography because I see that here in Calgary, I never was able to book anything in Ontario, but here, you know, it's popular. People are asking you, like this guy today, right? Turns out he's some kind of a roofing company, and he wanted to create a kind of like a marketing advertising clip, which would include regular videos and also drone videos. And I said, hey, I've been making videos for YouTube since 2008. I have lots of experience with that, but unfortunately, I cannot help you with the drone. And so yeah, that's the second thing I bought. And by the way, that's the investment I decided to make into my photography. So this bad boy, this is a 50 Z or Z 1.2. It's a super expensive lens, but this is like top of the line. This is what wedding photographers use, you know. And actually I know a guy who uses exactly my camera, like Z6 II, with this lens as his primary lens. And this is what I use mostly for this recent wedding with this what the name, Alex and Christina. And in other news, my accordion finally arrived. I know you guys are eager to hear this one. So they send it from Ontario via Canada Post, because that's the cheapest way. And this is again, this is the same company I worked with before when I bought that used accordion. If you remember, it was like $1,700 or $1,800, also a 4-reed accordion. But then I got that Roland 1X and I sold that one. That was a mistake. I should have kept that one because that's exactly what I need. So this is exactly pretty much the same. It's LMMM, low, medium, 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 or middle, middle, middle. So it's a full musette, 4 reeds, and these guys, Accordions Canada, and they said they try to pack it pretty good. Yeah, wow, look at this. So it's refurbished, right? So what they do is they take these older accordions and they open up and they change everything inside to make sure it's all up to date. So that's what I found out, to my surprise, with that previous accordion. Like on the outside it looked, you know, like a regular slightly older accordion, but inside it was like brand new, you know. And that's when I realized that, wait a second, even on their website they say reconditioned piano accordions. And so they also provide samples, as I mentioned. When you go and you look at the picture, you can see the picture, and there's a bunch of pictures of each instrument they're selling, one of these reconditioned ones. And then there's a guy playing. I don't know, like they show him like this, you know, like the face is cut off, but you can see the instrument and you can hear how it sounds. And oh, wow, look at this. Nobody ever said anything about the case. Holy moly. But basically this accordion, the sound was amazing. And also what I noticed, because I was, you know, like the biggest problem with used accordions in my experience, and this is like my third one, used one, is that they have poor bellows compression. Basically, you have to open up bellows, you know, like, and if you like put it on your chest and you lean slightly and you're not holding it, the accordion starts moving, you know. So that means that it has a leak somewhere, and bellows are very expensive to replace. And so when I was watching all these samples, I was you know, sample music from with all the accordions, I was trying to see which one the musician moved less, you know. And when they showed this one, the guy really barely moved the bellows and it was making all kinds of sounds, you know. But yeah, this is like, I'm really excited. Check this out. These guys, you know, they really know how to pack. Wow. Yeah, because again, I spent so much time with this. You see this? Palmer Hughes accordion course. I'm still on the first one. Man, but it weighs a ton. Hold on, I cannot lift it with one hand. And they also added these. See inside, they also put these and this. Man, these guys are good. I'm telling you, this is probably the best store in Canada to buy accordions from. I'm serious. Okay, never mind my whiskey. I'm just relaxing after work. But man, this is big. I think this is the original case. Okay, what are these socks doing here? Ta-da! Wow. And they still put more stuff in here. Oh, by the way, one cool thing about this particular instrument, you see, like, they covered this. Wow. So those are the straps. So one cool thing about this instrument is that it comes with microphones. That costs a lot of money. So they have, even though they're mono, but they included microphones. Wow, look at this. Yeah, and that's what they do. They cover the bass buttons with this. You see it says Peel. So it's super nice instrument. Brand new, this Paolo Soprani, made in Italy. Cost anywhere from 7 to 7,500 Canadian. You know, I got it for, it was listed for 28. No, for 27. It was listed for 27. I asked him, I said, can we do 2,500? And the guy says, well, we can take $100 off, so we can give it to you for 2,600. And that's what I got it from. And so this is, see, it's a 4-reed instrument. That's why it has so many switches over here. And on the bass, it only has 2. But man, this is top of the line instrument, especially for the money. So yeah, we're not gonna get it out. I'm gonna, oh wow, look at this. So this came with, this is part of this bag. That's how, see, that's how Italians do it. Yeah. So yeah, now we'll get back to practicing with the Palmer Hughes accordion course. And I mentioned that there was some bad news. Well, the bad news are about my mom. Last time we talked, it was early August, and she sounded funny. She was saying something kind of like, Sergei, I love you, come back, we have a great country over here. Like, you know, what are you talking about? I'm in Canada and I cannot come because, you know, I donated money to Ukraine, and actually they jailed one lady, Ukrainian American, who they found donated $50 to a Ukrainian charity. I donated $1,300. So I cannot come to Russia because they'll say I'm a spy, you know, because I'm helping Ukraine. But anyway, so she sounded a bit funny, kind of like off, and then she disappeared, you know. And middle of September, end of September, I started worrying, because, you know, she uses WhatsApp, right? We would just exchange messages. Hey, Sergei, she would say, how, you know, what's happening? I said, well, I'm at work, working. Everything is good. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Just came back from, my brother paid for her. She went to a resort, like in the summer. He takes her to a resort in there, you know, like somewhere in the woods. She's with other women over there, you know, enjoying the serene, pristine environment, having fun. So he takes care of her. But so early August, that was the last message, and then the entire August, nothing. The entire September, nothing. So I started worrying, and I'm thinking, wait, so my brother does not talk to me. Like, what if my mom dies? Like, would he even tell me, you know? And I was like lying in bed and thinking, okay, what if I just send him a message? I know his email, right? And I say, hey, you know, how's mom? And he would say, oh, we buried her, you know, September 25th. Because, yeah, again, we're not on speaking terms because of the war, right? And so finally I decided to send him a message. And I didn't put anything in the body of the message. I just said, как дела у мамы? How's mom doing? And I'm thinking, yeah, this guy's not going to answer. He's going to ignore me because now we're kind of like enemies, you know. And to my surprise, he answers, because when I got up today, right, I was worried about my collections thing. I got up at like 4 a.m. I cannot sleep. I was on my computer. And I'm like, wait a second. I see a message from my brother. And he says that mom is in the hospital since August 13. I'm not going to go into details, but basically she's having some mental problems. And he says doctors are trying to get her back into adequate condition. That's what he said. Basically, doctors are trying to I'm guessing return her life back to her or something. So it sounds like, I'm sorry to say, but it sounds like almost like an early stage of dementia, you know, or something like that. Basically like hallucinations. They call them voice hallucinations. And I'm like, holy macro. So I had to use my calculator again. So 2024 minus 1936. So in December of this year, she will be 88 years old. And basically that's what happens when you're getting old. You start hearing voices, man. And it's kind of like that movie. Remember the Spider-Man? The bad guy in the movie, he was hearing voices, like his alter ego was talking to him, so he was going crazy. So hopefully they can help her and she can get back to her home. But yeah, not good. I never thought anything like this would happen to my mom. She was always so, you know, optimistic, laughing, smiling. But as she got older, yeah, I think she was missing me a lot. And she really, a couple of times she told me she hated Canada. I said, why? Oh, because Canada took my son. It's like Canada had a big mouth, and I said, well, I moved here, right? So I like Canada. This is where I live now. So I come visit you guys, right? Every few years, stupid military conflict, I cannot come. And I guess that's what happens when you spend too much alone, right? Because my brother lives like an hour away from her, and he visits her maybe once every couple of weeks. And then my nephew, my brother's son, used to live with her in that apartment, but now he's in Ukraine, you know, following the Putin's grandiose plan, and so she's alone. And I guess, you know, when all the folks are left alone, it's not good. So man, so I hope I'll hear some good news maybe sometime this month from her. Maybe she'll start writing me again, you know. But yeah, 88 years old, that's a lot of years. That's a lot of years. Yeah, I love my mom. Just sorry to hear when my brother sent me this, like, holy mackerel. So anyway, that's what I meant by bad news. But you know, life goes on. What do you do? It's a cycle of life, right? As long as we have the music, everything is okay. And now we have this beautiful Italian accordion. I have my camera, and by the way, so the inquiries about photography keeps coming in. So this guy today asked me about drone video. I said, no, I don't have a drone. But yesterday I'm talking to a guy and he says, and I quote, and I'm not BSing you, I'm not making this up. That's how great Captain Sergei is with photography. I like accordion, by the way. And actually, I thought about this. I said, maybe I should stop wasting time with the accordion because I'm so much better with photography so that people are willing to pay me. Whereas with the accordion, it'll take me another 5 years. If I go and stand somewhere in the park and try busking with the accordion, maybe somebody will give me 25 cents. But I do like it. It helps you relax. And also, again, that's like anti-dementia thing, you know. They say that older folks, it's always beneficial to learn a new skill, make your brain work. And the music, it's beautiful. I think it's great for your brain. It's great to take your mind off things, you know. But so yeah, this guy contacted me. What was his name? David. Hold on one second. I'm just looking at my online ad. So this guy said, I was like, I almost fell. I thought he was joking. Hi, looking for a photographer between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. October 13th. And as soon as I read that, first thing I did, I went on to the calendar because, you know, of course, I'm working some Saturdays, right? But October 13th is Sunday. So every Sunday I'm free. Okay, so I keep reading. So looking for a photographer between 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. October 13th, downtown Calgary, looking at photos while we are test rehearsing for an independent film scene. Holy mackerel. Hello Hollywood, you know. So they're doing a movie, preparing to shoot a movie, and they need a photographer, I'm guessing, for like advertising, marketing purposes. I said, I'm interested. Looks like it's Sunday, I'm available. He says, okay, what's your price? I give him my price. And the guy said, okay, that's a deal. Just waiting to confirm the time and with the other party there, and should be good. And I asked him about the flash. He said, yeah, flash is all right. And if we can use natural light as well, that would be awesome in some spots. And he says, I live in Edmonton. Can you send the USB stick by mail? Because I told him, I said, I'll give you the images in JPEG on the USB stick. And he says, can you send it to Edmonton? I said, yeah, I can use UPS or Canada Post. And so now I'm waiting to hear from this guy, you know. And so I'm super happy that I have this, you know, this nice professional lens, so I can create some really professional level photos, you know. And so yeah, the guy with the Ford Explorer promised to tell me what's happening, but of course, I'm thinking they're having issues improving me. But that would be an awesome vehicle. I would clean it up, make sure it's spotless, and put it on rental, and also register it with Uber. So instead of my Jeep, I can drive that one, because that one is much bigger. It has more space inside, and it has a total of 7 seats. So that would be a much better vehicle for taxi. So those are the news. Sorry for the long video again, but I had lots of activity to report, lots of shopping, you know, then the situation with my truck. That's when now I'm driving a pickup truck and trailer. Oh, by the way, what's funny is that I show up in the morning and my dispatcher says, so I say, okay, am I in the freight line or a pickup truck? But of course now there's no freight line. He says, truck and trailer. And to me that sounded like tractor trailer. And I said, wait, tractor, you want me to drive a tractor trailer? We don't have a tractor trailer. He says, no, truck and trailer. So basically go grab the pickup truck, hook up to the trailer, and that's your task for today. You know, and I'm pretty good with that trailer. I can back like there's no tomorrow, you know, because it's 20 feet long, and it just feels like a small tiny baby semi truck with a tiny baby semi trailer, you know. So I really enjoy it. So anyway, so all is good. I just hope that my mom will get better and that I will hear from her soon. Thanks for watching.